Welcome to the very first episode of Empowered by Science, the podcast where wellness meets innovation. I'm your host, Phaitoon Sarujikamjorn, former engineer turned global wellness entrepreneur, and I'm so excited to kick off this series with a major milestone from the Nu Skin universe. Today, you're going to hear highlights from a powerful conversation with Ryan Napierski and Steve Hatchett as they unveil PRYSM IO, the next generation of wellness technology. If you've ever wondered how to measure your health in real time, how to personalize your supplement journey, or how Nu Skin is evolving with AI and real-world data, you're in the right place. This episode marks a shift. It's not just product innovation, it's empowerment through information. Let's dive into the future. Let's dive into PRYSM IO.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're embarking on really a fascinating journey right into the heart of wellness. We're exploring how remarkable persistence, when you couple it with groundbreaking technology, can genuinely redefine your personal health experience.
We've been digging through quite a bit of material, including a key presentation about this revolutionary platform called PRYSM, our goal, to distill what it all really means for your health journey. So our mission for this deep dive is basically this: to unpack how decades of dedicated effort, plus some truly measurable insights, are, well, quite literally changing the game in personal wellness. Because the core idea here, it's pretty profound. You can now see your wellness journey unfolding. You don't have to just guess anymore.
Right, and that's huge because, most health approaches, they rely on vague promises, maybe some hope. They leave you constantly wondering, is this actually working for me? Exactly. But today, we're going to reveal how a revolutionary device, and it's backed by decades of data, can actually prove that those small, consistent steps, they lead to significant, measurable health improvements. So, okay, let's unpack how this even became possible. We're diving into the story of a company that has, truly stood the test of time. I mean, think about it. In an age where businesses often pop up and disappear almost overnight, this company, they've been operating for over 4 decades. That demonstrates incredible foundational strength, sustained success.
It really is remarkable. It's a testament to their long-term vision. They're now in their, 41st or 42nd year of business. And just to give you some context here, they are one of only a tiny handful of companies in their specific industry, direct sales, to have achieved this kind of sustained scale and impact. We're talking, I think, one of only 3 out of maybe 65,000 since the 1950s to pay out over $20 billion in commissions. That's like less than 0.02%.
Wow, $20 billion. That's staggering.
It is. And this kind of longevity, especially in a dynamic sector like wellness, it really signals a deep commitment to their mission, which they state as being a global force for good by empowering people to improve lives.
That kind of track record, yeah, it's a rare find. It suggests this isn't just about jumping on fleeting trends or, short-term gains. It feels like a company that's genuinely built for the long haul, laying the groundwork for some pretty substantial future impact. They talk about growing from $2 billion to $5 billion, $10 billion.
Exactly. That long-term perspective, it's absolutely integral to their identity and how they approach innovation.
This really brings us to a fascinating point about success itself, whether it's business, health, whatever. We often assume intelligence, like raw IQ, is the main driver, right? But what truly sets successful people apart?
That's an excellent question. And the common assumptions, they often point straight to IQ. But multiple scientific studies on success, they tell a pretty different story. These studies consistently show that only about 1/3 maybe of the most successful individuals actually have an above average IQ.
Only 1/3. That's surprising.
It is. For reference, average IQ is, 95 to 110. Genius level starts around 145. What these studies do consistently reveal as the #1 determinant for success isn't raw intellect, but it's persistence over time.
Persistence over time.
Okay.
That just feels powerful.
It truly is. I mean, think about the story of the chess grandmaster Magnus Carlsen. He was recently beaten by a 19-year-old Indian player, and when they asked this young player about his breakthrough, he shared that he had woken up every single day for 10 years, 10 years, with the singular vision of beating the best.
Every day for 10 years, wow.
That's persistence in action, right? It's not just some philosophical concept. It's a measurable force in achievement.
And you can tie that directly back to personal growth, especially in health. It makes total sense. If you want stronger muscles, it's persistence over time, consistently showing up at the gym day after day. If you want a more vibrant life, it's about waking up every single day with that vision and just like relentlessly pursuing it.
Absolutely. It's not about one giant leap. It's the compounding effect of those consistent small steps. And this concept, this persistent effort, which is often kind of invisible day to day, it becomes profoundly visible when you actually introduce measurement.
Okay, so let's connect the dots. How does this commitment to persistence and this long-term vision, how does that translate into your journey to a better life and specifically your health? This company, as you said, they've been on this 4-decade mission focused on empowering people to look, feel, and live better lives.
Right. So their journey into measurable wellness, it really began, let's see, about 31 or 32 years ago. The early focus was on the power of antioxidants with products like VitaLife. Then a really pivotal moment came in 1996 when they acquired Pharmanex. That brought on board Dr. Joe Chang, who really instilled this deep scientific rigor into their nutritional approach.
Dr. Joe Chang, yeah, a big name in that field.
A very big name. And the real breakthrough for measurable wellness arrived around 2001, 2002 with the launch of the Phaitoon scanner. Now this was revolutionary at the time. It was a device that could actually measure the effects of antioxidant supplements directly in the body.
Okay, so not just taking a pill and hoping, but actually seeing if it made a difference.
Precisely. And this was, like you said, a truly unique achievement. What they built from that point forward has become the world's largest and longest running antioxidant and aging study or database.
Largest and longest running. How big are we talking?
We're talking over 10 million people participating, generating more than 20 million scans across 50 countries.
20 million scans.
Yeah.
That's an incredible, verifiable data set. There's almost nothing else like that in personal wellness, is there?
Not on this scale, focused on this specific measurement over time, no. And this vast database, it created both a new challenge and a massive opportunity. Steve Hatchett, their chief product officer, he fully recognized the immense power of that original scanner, but he also saw its key limitation.
Which was?
The cost. It cost $5,000.
Ouch. Yeah, not exactly something everyone can have at home.
Exactly. It made it inaccessible for widespread everyday use. So Ryan, the CEO, challenged Steve. It sounds simple, but it was a profoundly difficult request. Let's talk when you can fit it in your pocket.
Huh? Fit a $5,000 scanner in your pocket.
Right.
Easy peasy.
You'd think impossible, right? But fast forward about 18 months or so.
Okay.
And the story goes that Steve walks into Ryan's office, pulls out this little hockey puck-sized device, and just says, "Ryan, we did it."
No way. 18 months. That must have been an absolutely incredible moment. Like something out of a movie.
I imagine so. And this new device, they call it PRYSM. It's not just smaller, it's genuinely revolutionary. It fits comfortably in your pocket. The cost is way down around $300, which is, a massive reduction from the original $5,000.
From $5,000 to $300, that's game-changing.
It is. And what's even more remarkable, perhaps, is that it's actually more accurate than the original scanner.
More accurate and smaller and cheaper. How?
Better technology, refined algorithms, leveraging that massive database. And it can measure your carotenoid levels in just 15 seconds.
Okay, hold on. You mentioned carotenoids before with the first scanner. Can you remind us what exactly are they, why are they important, and how does this little PRYSM thing actually measure them?
Sure, yeah, good question. So carotenoids are basically these powerful antioxidants. They're the pigments that give fruits and vegetables their bright red, orange, and yellow colors. Think beta-carotene in carrots, lycopene in tomatoes, that sort of thing. When you eat these foods, your body stores these carotenoids in your tissues, especially in your skin, and they act as a really crucial part of your body's defense system against something called oxidative stress.
Oxidative stress.
Yeah.
That sounds bad.
It's essentially the cellular damage that happens from everyday life, things like pollution, UV radiation from the sun, not getting enough sleep, stress, even just your body's normal metabolic processes create it. Antioxidants help fight that damage.
Got it. So carotenoids are like internal bodyguards you get from eating colorful plants. How does PRYSM see them?
Right. PRYSM uses a really cool technology called Raman spectroscopy. Basically, imagine it shines a very specific, very low-power blue light onto your skin. It's totally painless, non-invasive. The carotenoid molecules in your skin tissue absorb some of this light energy, and then they re-emit it, but at a slightly different wavelength, a different color of light, essentially. The device detects this unique light signature that comes back. By analyzing that signature and combining it with their huge database of, 20 to 21 million scans now and proprietary algorithms, PRYSM can very quickly and accurately give you a score that reflects the level of these protective carotenoids in your body. It tells you how well your antioxidant defense system is doing.
Wow. All from shining a little light on your hand for 15 seconds.
Pretty amazing, isn't it? And this simple, non-invasive measurement, it provides a really powerful snapshot, a proxy measure for several key areas of your well-being. So, number one, your diet. Specifically, how many fruits and vegetables you're consistently eating. Number two, your body mass. There's a correlation, which obviously has fitness and metabolic implications. Number three, oxidative stress. It reflects how much cumulative damage your cells might be under from all those lifestyle and environmental factors we mentioned. And number four, crucially, the effectiveness of your nutritional supplementation. You can see if what you're taking is actually boosting your levels.
So it's not just about supplements then?
Not at all. That's what's so profound here. This is way more than just a supplement gadget. It's a true Healthspan tool. It gives you a window into these four critical dimensions of your overall well-being. It really empowers you with personalized, objective data that honestly used to be reserved just for clinical trials or expensive lab tests.
Okay, this is huge. Let's dive into the hard evidence then. You mentioned 21 million scans. What does that data actually show? The receipts, as they say.
Right, the receipts. And it's important to grasp the scale here. The analysis they shared used 21 million cleaned data points. They actually had about 26 million scans originally. Now, just to put that number, 21 million, into perspective. In the pharmaceutical world, a clinical study with maybe 1,000 data points, that's often considered statistically significant.
1,000. Right.
So 21 million, that is just a monumental body of evidence. It gives an incredibly reliable, almost irrefutable look at the impact of lifestyle factors on this particular health marker.
Okay, lay it on us. What did 21 million scans reveal?
All right, let's break down what this powerful data-driven insight shows. We can do it in sort of three main beats. Number one, the starting point. Let's call it the red zone. Out of those 21 million people scanned globally, a pretty significant chunk, 20%, were found to be in this red zone. That indicates, based on their carotenoid score, that they were likely struggling from a health standpoint.
1 in 5 people starting in a tough spot.
Yeah. And what's even more telling is when they looked at a subset of individuals who admitted to, let's say, the worst combination of habits. So smoking, being obese or overweight, eating less than 2 servings of fruits and veggies daily, and taking no comprehensive nutritional supplement like their Life Pack. For that group, a staggering 96% of them scored in that poor or red health range.
Yeah.
It just establishes a really clear baseline of where many people are starting, unfortunately.
96%. Wow. Okay, so that's the baseline. What happens when people change things?
Right, beat number 2. Small changes, big shifts. This is where it gets really interesting because the scanner readings independently showed significant improvements when lifestyle factors improved. Remember, the scanner doesn't ask you questions, it just measures the carotenoids. So the data showed, for instance, that just quitting smoking alone moves scores significantly out of that red zone.
Just quitting smoking made a measurable difference.
A measurable difference. Then, achieving a relatively normal body mass index, or BMI, that boosted health scores even further. It shifted people from maybe 60% in the red down to around 20% just by managing weight. And then consistently eating 4 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables daily, that moved scores so dramatically that less than 10% of those individuals remained in the red zone.
Okay, so diet, weight, not smoking. These foundational things clearly show up in the score.
Absolutely. It demonstrates the power of those fundamental healthy habits in a measurable way.
So what about the supplements? That was the 4th factor, right?
Exactly. Beat number 3. The supplementation impact a measurable boost. Adding a comprehensive nutritional supplement, in this case they obviously studied their own, Life Pack, had a really dramatic observable effect on the scores. Taking Life Pack daily led to drastically improved scores. Many people moved up into the blue and even the purple, which represents optimal health ranges based on their score.
So you could see the needle move, so to speak.
You could literally see the score increase. And what's perhaps most remarkable is this. When you combine all the positive lifestyle factors, not smoking, maintaining a healthy BMI, eating enough fruits and vegetables, and you added Life Pack taken twice daily, then less than 6% of people remained in that red zone. And a significant portion, about 11 to 12%, actually reached the purple optimal health level.
Less than 6% in the red, down from potentially 96% for those with the worst habits. That's incredible.
It is. And this isn't just theory or marketing claims. It's what 21 million data points show regarding measurable improvements correlated with these actions.
And this is critical to really grasp, isn't it? The scanner, it doesn't care about your background, your age, your current fitness level. It's non-invasive, it's objective. It just gives you the pure data on your antioxidant score, which reflects these lifestyle choices. It feels like it moves personal wellness from guesswork and hope into the realm of genuine verifiable results.
Precisely. And the broader implication here is huge because this kind of measurable impact is vital. Why? Because global micronutrient deficiencies are a massive, widespread problem, often completely unnoticed. There's data from the Lancet Journal, a very respected medical publication. They have these maps showing entire regions suffering from insufficient intake of vital nutrients, things like B6, iodine, vitamin E, calcium, folate, iron. The list goes on.
So people might think they're eating okay, but they're missing key things.
Exactly. Take India, for instance. The data shows significant struggles there with B6, iron, iodine, B12, calcium, vitamin A. It really highlights a crucial point. Even if you're eating enough calories, are you truly getting all the essential micronutrients your body actually needs to thrive?
That's profoundly relevant because you might be eating regularly, 3 meals a day, but this data clearly shows that regional diets, and honestly, even seemingly healthy modern diets, can fall woefully short on these essential nutrients.
And that's where a scientifically backed comprehensive solution like LifePak comes into the picture. Their public claims, which, importantly, are legally approved and backed by extensive research. They state that the product helps correct nutritional deficiencies. It targets cellular needs, provides anti-aging benefits at a cellular level, offers comprehensive cell protection, and supports major systems: cardiovascular, bone, immune, plus healthy eyesight, skin function, energy metabolism.
Okay, those are some significant claims. What's the science behind them?
Well, the scientific backing is pretty impressive. There are, I believe, 112 published studies specifically just on the biophotonic scanner technology and carotenoid values, plus literally thousands more studies on their broader product lines and the ingredients they use. And this commitment, it extends to quality control. They run somewhere between 100 and 300 tests on every single batch of product, testing for strength, safety, effectiveness, purity, before it ever reaches a customer.
100 to 300 tests per batch.
Yeah, they really seem to do the work to ensure the products are right and actually deliver what they promise.
Okay, so what we're really talking about here, it feels like it's much bigger than just a cool device or a good supplement. It sounds like a massive opportunity, maybe even a global movement, to legitimize and personalize wellness for everyone.
I think that's exactly right. The PRYSM device itself, it's truly unique. It's patented technology. It cleverly combines the huge biophotonic scanner data set, the Raman spectroscopy science, with their own proprietary algorithms and spectral array technology. The result is this advanced yet really simple to use, highly accurate system. It gives you that painless, non-invasive, personalized health and wellness score.
And the real innovation is?
I think the real innovation lies not just in the tech itself, but in how it enables a totally new approach to managing health. It shifts the focus. It becomes about clarifying a health score for individuals, moving way beyond just, pushing a product.
Yeah.
It provides this clear, objective feedback loop. You take the product, you scan, you see your score change. It works in perpetuity, ideally through consistent product use on a subscription platform. And you know that old saying, what gets measured gets managed? Well, maybe the corollary is, what gets measured consistently improves significantly.
Right. Because you see the proof.
Exactly. It allows individuals like you to become active participants, not just passive consumers, in your own health journey. And for entrepreneurs, it lets them genuinely support customers based on real data.
And the potential market for this kind of measurable wellness, it must be enormous.
It's staggering. The global wellness industry projections put it at reaching maybe $9 trillion in the next 5 years.
9 trillion with a T.
Trillion with a T. And just the supplement business slice of that pie, that's valued somewhere between $350 to $500 billion. This kind of device, PRYSM, it really has the potential to legitimize a huge part of that industry by finally providing irrefutable, personalized data on what actually works for you.
It could sort the wheat from the chaff, basically.
In a way, yes. And it all points back to that long-term vision we talked about earlier. This company, they aren't just focused on next quarter's earnings. They're clearly playing the long game, investing for the next 40 years, not just the next 40 weeks. Their stated goal is ambitious: place millions of these PRYSM devices worldwide and empower a global network, an army, as they come at it, of independent wellness guides or entrepreneurs who will then use this tool to help enable potentially 8 billion people to look, feel, and live better lives.
An army of entrepreneurs with scanners.
That's the vision. And the device itself, it's on the near horizon. The presentation mentioned T-minus 180 days, so likely launching later this year. The big focus now seems to be on building that network of committed advocates and entrepreneurs before the device actually hits the market.
Get the army ready before the weapon arrives, so to speak.
Something like that, yeah. Build the distribution and support network first.
So there you have it. It really feels like a convergence, doesn't it? A persistent, long-term vision, some truly breakthrough technology, and this massive amount of verifiable data. It means you, the listener, you potentially no longer have to just guess about your health or whether your wellness choices are actually making a difference. This isn't just about one company. It feels like it signals a new era of personal health empowerment.
Absolutely. Think about it. Consider how knowing your exact health score, seeing it change based on your actions, and combining that knowledge with consistent data-driven effort, how could that redefine not just your personal well-being, but maybe even the global standard for health literacy itself? Imagine a world where wellness isn't just some vague aspiration, but it's a measurable, achievable journey for everyone.
Measure your progress, transform your health.
That's a wrap on our very first episode of Empowered by Science. What you just heard isn't just a product launch, it's the start of a new era, one where your wellness is measurable, personalized, and backed by real science. If PRYSM IO got you curious or inspired, share this with a friend. And this isn't just about biohacking. It's about building a smarter, longer, and more vibrant life. And be sure to follow and subscribe. We've got incredible episodes coming your way, from tech, skincare, science, and health and body transformation to personal success stories from around the world. Until next time, I'm Phaitoon, and this is Empowered by Science. Stay curious, stay vibrant, stay empowered.